He's a bitter man.
Black Country Extra.
I actually blagged. So I used to be not the manager, a member of the management team at for Safeway in various stores, and I knew I was getting made redundant. The date was set, and I contacted Wetherspoons because I thought I'd bought the pub. That was all going through, and I contacted Wetherspoons because I needed to get some experience.
So before we go on to that, so the pub itself, was it a going concern?
No, it had been closed, so even worse than that. But yeah, so I managed to blag my way onto this sort of management sort of trainee course thing. I knew that I was only going to be there for sort of 3 or 4 shifts, so I learned literally, everything about it with regards to pulling a pint. I'd never even pulled a pint.
You're drunk.
I bought a pub and I hadn't even pulled a pint.
You drunk a few though.
Yeah. But unfortunately, you do obviously learn a lot as you go along, and I'd like to think that if I had another go, I might make a bit more of a success of it. But the thing is, we'll also learn is the commitment is so big, and the investment. Because I used to do everything myself, which doesn't help, because then you get tired and irritable, and perhaps make the wrong decisions. So yeah, there's a lot. I've learned a lot, and if I did it again, maybe it would work, but I wouldn't do it again because I quite like it as it is now. It sounds ridiculous, but I like doing, like you say, everything that I do, I enjoy there. I don't, I'm never, yeah.
No, I like it. I mean, I like the bespoke nature of the pub. And there were times when, pre-COVID, we had comedians meetups on a Saturday, and it's great to be able to go to a mate who owns a pub and say, can you open your doors at 1 o'clock and have the beer ready, and we'll be there till about 8 o'clock. And he says, yeah, I'll just be there doing the cleaning and whatever. You come in and bring people. That's a dream for most people, isn't it?
Yeah, we've had some great times. I mean, we're still doing things like that. I have got the people that do come are sort of hardcore bush lovers, and yeah, they're all good folks, and they all like a drink. So I never get any hassle or anything like that. Although in the old days, you remember, Billy, I was away, wasn't I?
Yeah.
The Armour and Chain was on, and I had a message or a call from Billy or Loz, and basically some bloke, because the night was going well. It was a lovely night. Obviously, middle-aged folks drinking ale and performance poetry and a little bit of music. And this guy came on who we never even found out who he was. We think it was just a random. Came on stage, didn't he? And exposed himself. So I was wherever.
I don't know whether it was his armour or his chain. But
I don't know where I was, but I remember it was so obviously that was horrifying. Yeah. But now there's literally been. Yeah, it's really, so that's the beauty of having it small now. I can look after it all myself.
What beauty of having what small?
The business.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were back on that bloke. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
Hey.
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy it now. And it does give me time to do things like. Things that I like doing myself. So I do love doing the performance stuff, and I need to, yourself. If you guys have got your stand-up passion to get good, you got to practice. So I like.
But I think
the acting, and
that's one of the beauties of the bush, because you've incorporated stuff you love doing, acting, bit of comedy, speech performance. You've combined that in the running of the pub, so you've got that on your doorstep as well. So that's what makes it a unique pub.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. So I was living in London for a while, and then we used to. This was when it was more of a regular place and not so ridiculously expensive and what have you. So you go out in the West End, and there'd be little pubs with rooms upstairs where there'd be bits of theatre on, bits of poetry and open mic. So I tried to sort of do that. And actually Stacey and Steve, who started Scary Canary, that's now Claptrap.
Oh, on Stourbridge High Street, yes.
Yes. They, I remember Steve saying to me that they basically did everything that I do at the Bush, but just his words were, I think, I'm not sure, but it was basically said on a more classy level, which of course he's right, because I mean they built a fantastic thing there, and unfortunately Steve passed away, and Stacey sold it on to the guys that have got it now, but they've just carried on and just maintained it, and I go down there quite often on a Sunday to the open mic, but.
Well, the beauty of you, Dave, sorry to interrupt.
He's my mole, that mole there.
You're a very attractive man, don't think I haven't noticed. Oh, yeah.
It must have been a long Christmas.
It was bleak. Yeah, and that song, anyway, last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away.
Yeah, I think he was a butcher, wasn't he? He was a butcher.
He was a bit, well, no, he was a bit needy, wasn't he? One day and you're giving somebody your heart, and then they gave it away. Wouldn't you turn around and say, hey, where's my heart gone?
Yeah.
Anyway, so, yeah, I digress. So, but the thing with you is, you're a licensee, which is an ideal venue for comedy, for music and all that. I think we can all agree here. But you, unlike some licensees that go, well, I don't know whether to put anything on or not. What's in it for me? You do it, obviously, to sort of turn a profit, but you do it because as well you've got a passion in the performing arts, haven't you?
I do make very little money on a Thursday. I think most people realise that. And I've never charged before for events unless I'm actually paying. We've done some comedy specials where we've actually paid the acts, like 30 quid, 40 quid, 50 quid, 20 quid. And then people pay an admission, and we split. I know we split and do that like that. But actually now because the Thursdays, I could make profit-wise, I could make 50 quid, I could make 100 quid, but very rare.
So what are you saying?
Going into 200.
It's putting the performance on that's the main thing.
Yeah, it's the enjoyment. But what I was getting at there was, as Dave mentioned earlier on, to do the gas prices, and it's quite embarrassing, but it's. Because it's a big old boiler and it's quite a big space, and it costs sort of about it costs about 12 quid to sort of it was costing about 6 quid to sort of get it warm for the Thursday, put it on at 3 o'clock in the morning. But that now it's gone 3 times, so it's going to be 18 quid. So I've actually asked last night. I just said, look, you haven't got to pay anything, but if anybody wants to chuck a quid in on the way out, then do it. And yeah, we've got the gas bill for next week, so that's good.
Wolfie's gas fund, you could call it that.
Well, that's what it is. But I mean, it's a bit of a laugh, but I've never charged them. They come, people call. They get a great show thanks to the likes of you guys for performing, and I like to think that people get a lot out of it. Like the people come, a lot of people just do one gig. There's hundreds. I mean, we must have had 1,000 acts down here.
Yeah,
easy. But there's some who just do one. There's some might do 10 or 20. But there's a lot of people that they actually say. I mean, Dave Pitt wrote a book about it, didn't he? Stand Up Saved My Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he credits me in the book. A lot of people, I think doctors now are actually prescribing.
Coming
performance.
to the bush.
Prescribing performance. Obviously getting out of there as a thing. And I've had people come down and they do courses. They do James Cook's course.
Yes.
Which you can find online, jamescook.something. And yeah, they have a go and you're becomes. Well, they meet so many people. Their life is if their lives are transformed because they get this huge. I mean, you think of how many people you.
Well, I can verify that. And when we started, because
we're here because you're here through me, aren't you today? And
exactly,
that's the way it all works, isn't it?
Yes, taking the credit for my life once again. But
he's a bitter man.
But at the start, because there was nowhere to play around the country, there was a bit of a scene in Leeds, Manchester, and London, but not in Milton Keynes. Hardly anything in Bristol and Nottingham. So they all found out about the bush because of the Facebook profiles. And every gig, when I compared it for the first 2.5 years, and every week you get 3 more friend requests from people who've...
Yeah.
It became a cult gig, and comedians, new comedians all around the country were saying, "Oh, you must play the bush. You must play the bush."
Well, the thing is, they still do.
They still do, yeah. And people travel from far and wide.
And do you think it's the association with it being a community thing as well?
Yeah.
Because you get that with the Gather Cafe and with Harry's in Brawley Hill. It's more than a cafe.
Yeah.
Because people, same as you, people come in and they'll just put some money in the. I'll just leave this in case somebody wants a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
There is a community about it. There are people there. The people that come on a Thursday, they have all got a little clan of about sort of 15. You usually get 10 of them a week, and they're all very close and become very good friends. But the thing with it is that most venues they'll have some open mic spots, like they'll have a lineup and then include 2 open spots, but even to get on those, you've got to be of a standard. There aren't many where they put anybody on. Like I use the Phil Collins no jacket required. I use the old no video required type sort of thing, and that's the selling point.
I did
really.
a gig when I was starting out in Worcester, and I have mentioned this before, but it's a pro bill, and I was the one open
That was
spot
what
on.
I used to do, yeah.
And I was told, you've got 7 minutes. You have 7 minutes, not a bit more than that.
That's how it was.
7 minutes, and at 6 minutes 30, you could actually see the promoter who was comparing walking towards the stage.
That's
'cause
exactly what they used to
I
do.
was going to do, whether I was partway through a gag, I was going to do 7 minutes. And when they used to do the original Comedy Store, that's what it was like. They used to have the red light. If you went on too long. I mean, you do have a degree of flexibility at your place.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there are certain acts that like to run over, and you have to sort of sort it out. Yeah.
Well, I was comparing recently at yours, and some of the acts, I've got to say, bless them. There were 12 acts on, I think.
Oh, last Thursday.
Yeah, no, it was a few Thursdays ago, and it was your birthday gig, if you remember.
Oh yes, yes.
And there were a number of acts on there that really
Took the Michael.
very much so, and I'm flashing them with my. Excuse
we
me.
haven't gone back to that again.
You're bigger than that, Johnny.
Hey,
Now, come on.
So it was
You're
you.
better
It was
than
you that
It was
night.
him at the Orange Chain.
I confess. I confess.
He was incognito.
And in my defence, it was a cold evening.
Don't mention the incognito.
But I've got my phone flashing at the back, and there's about 3 rows up. Got in on the joke that the compere was having kittens to try and get everybody off, and they started looking at me, sort of having a meltdown. I was like, "Get up, 25 minutes is not."
No.
Is not 6-7 minutes, because I was saying you can do 10 max, and some were doing 25 minutes. I'm like, what? I mean, when I started, you had an opener, a middle, and a closer, and you had 1 open mic spot, and they said to you that was it. You had Bosch, and that was your time. And if you went over your time, they'd never call you back again.
Yeah.
Even if you blew the roof off, they would never have you back again. You were a comedy pariah, basically.
That's Lozzie Lee, isn't it? Lozzie Lee likes to run over.
I'd like to
Yeah.
run over Lozzie Lee sometime.
Oh, blimey. And then
No,
his
I don't.
prodigy.
He's a lovely bloke.
His prodigy, Ryan Smith, now known as Patrick Larrington Vale, has also got, but he's quite happy going on at the end.
Yes,
So,
of course, yes.
He loves it. But he went on. You gave him prime time on the other week. 'Cause he was on about third, wasn't he?
It was. Well, I'll tell
He
you what.
would have been one of your irritating long runners.
Let's mention no names, but yes. Well, listen. Let's set the scene here. I turn up at the gig. I didn't know 3/4 of the acts. Some of the people that said they were going to turn up didn't turn up. Some of the people that you didn't think were going to turn up turned up. You know, people were coming up to them saying, "Can you put me on?" And then 3 minutes. Then they were doing sort of 12 minutes, and I'm like, "This is like herding cats." It was crazy. It was absolutely mental. But yeah, and so we did all right in the end, I think.
It was fantastic night.
But yeah, the running order was it was a movable feast.
There
It should
wasn't
have been
the-
on a dry whiteboard.
There
to be
was an
honest.
act who used to turn up pre-gig. So you talk about Patrick Larrington Vale going on at the end.
Yeah.
This guy used to come in while things were being set up. He used to stand on the stage with the mic and actually mime his act. So there was no magic tricks or anything like that. It wasn't a prop act. It was proper material. And he used to just mouth the words.
Who was out there?
I'm not going to say. He used to mouth the words, and then when the show started, he'd just leave.
Really?
He didn't actually perform. I have seen him perform about 3 times.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes. That's we're not going to say. Yeah, he used to turn up to now. Yeah.
But then you
Does
get
his
some.
name sound like something if you were going to hit it, the noise you might make?
I'm not telling you.
What, Billy Dong?
Not again.
Not him again.
Yeah, Billy Dong is, bend overs, mate. So anyway, no. And you get some comedians, this is they'll keep changing the names. I mean, you got like Patrick Larrington Vale. What's his real name?
Ryan Smith.
Has he had other names?
Well, he used to call himself Jukebox. So he was Ryan Jukebox
That's right.
Smith.
Because I introduced him on the night and said he's had more names than a Belgian War Memorial.
There's one guy who was a friend of mine from Redditch, and he used to have different names, and Wolfie was actually comparing that one, so I was just there in the audience, and Wolfie called out his name, and the guy had forgotten what name he'd given himself, so just sat there, and then Wolfie was going, no, John, John, it's you, mate.
Hey, you talk about that. In the summer, when we were doing the outdoor gig, I called a bloke up, and it's on video. I called a bloke, and here he is, very funny bloke. I hadn't got a clue who he was. Very funny bloke, bloody bloke. He gets up, walks through the door. I mean, I've never seen him again. Yeah. He must have bottled it at the last minute.
Well, Mickey Sharma, who comes down most weeks now, is a professional comedian.
Bless him.
He said the first time he came, he bottled it.
Really?
Yeah.
So did Rob Kemp.
Really?
So Rob Kemp, award-winning comedian, big star of the Edinburgh Festival and the Melbourne Comedy Festival. The first time he said it's not really working, is it? And sort of cut short his act.
Yeah, but at least he got up and said some words. This bloke just got up, walked past me, through the door, and never saw him again.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, okay.
Well, I film it. I talk about the alternative film for Bushfest. It's on there. You say, here he is, and some geezer gets up, because he's sitting at the back, walked out the door.
That's it. And I said, he's not funny, but he's quick. And I said that. Yeah. I said that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's reminding me now.
You have your own character, Wolfie, which you introduce to the pub occasionally, Bruised Four Sides. If you'd like to explain what that's all about.
It's absolutely marvellous.
Well, when I used to compare us. Bruised Four Sides. So his entrance was...
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm hurting. I'm hurting here.
Pointing at the body.
There, and there. I'm bruised 4 sides.
No, I did go to one of those little Birmingham uni things for a part-time drama course.
Oh, you studied drama?
Yeah, I've got a yeah. It's part of the City University. It was only I had to pay for it was a part-time course which I paid for.
Oh,
because when we met, remember, I also do a Bruce Forsyth impression.
It's so bad, it's unbelievable.
And you said to me, he said, what are you doing that? I'm the one who does that.
Yes.
And if it was down to me, I would vote
The standard of my bruised is far, far higher. Higher than yours.
No, I think you'll find that mine is higher.
Yours is lower, incredibly lower. Bad luck.
This is like Coogan and Bryden, this is it.
Do you know that Bruce Forsyth did his first gig at Bilston Town Hall?
Get away.
He did not.
Yeah. And Boris Johnson was living round there as well, wasn't he? Because he was going on
Pint of Banksy's Marders, scratchings.
love it. He did his sort of, I think it was his journalism apprenticeship
In Bilston?
in Bilston. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he used to live
It's like
around
James Fleet, James Fleet who plays Hugo
Yes.
in Vicar of Dibley. He's from Bilston as well, do you know?
there. Oh really? Yeah. Oh wow. Hang on, is Hugo the guy that's a bit scatty?
Yeah, the posh guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, got you.
Ian Lavender's from Walsall.
No, Longbridge.
That's the one. I thought it was. Yeah, Longbridge, just a mile away from Walsall. I failed geography at school. Yeah,
You stupid boy.
You get lost a lot,
don't
Paul.
tell him, Pike. Hey,
You get lost a lot.
are
when
you
go
my
out.
carer? No, that's right. Yes, absolutely.
The scarf. The scarf.
scarf,
He wore. Everyone
yeah.
assumed it was a West Ham scarf, but
No.
it's a Villa scarf.
Yes.
Wow. You know what? Yeah. Because I always
Yeah.
thought because he has a London accent in it, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Well, sort of.
Well, Longbridge is quite close to London, really.
Yeah. On the train.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I'll get my coat.
Yeah. So where were we? We were on about the bruised foresight. So yeah. No, you did that for quite a while, but then I think people got used to it. And whenever I used to start, they used to leave the room. So but now they beg for it back, and I say no, because you left the room. You've had it now. I used to get a Coca-Cola cup with a piece of string on it and tie that round the back of my head, so that was the chin. And then I used to have a wig. I started with a small wig which I used to put on, so that's his toupee. But then I found a small Santa beard, and I used to use that. But when I first did, so when I was, I used to be in the Boys Brigade as a kid, and I used to have every year. We used to have this fantastic camp where we used to go to there's the seaside, like Newquay or whatever. You know, there were all these guys used to. Moms and dads used to give up their time and take us loads of lads away, like about 20, 30 lads, were brilliant. And they used to have a concert. And I used to do Bruce Forsyth there, and I used to get a piece of turf. Put a piece of turf. Marvellous. Yeah, and also one of the ladies
turf from, Dave?
One of the mums,
I
Marios.
can imagine a red coat going, what's that kid just digging up the turf?
No,
for?
we just used to have a farmer's field. And
Right.
And it was all proper basic camping. And one of the mothers, I got her to, because it was the generation game, and of course you got the prize, the car, go for the car.
Yes.
And I once got her to drive the car into the big tent that we were putting the concert on with the headlights like they used to. Yeah.
How old were you?
About 27. No, I'd have been about 14, something like that.
Okay. Did you ever play in the band? Because when I
played the bass drum. Yeah,
I played the bass drum in the Royal Marine Cadets. I'll give you the secret sign. Bum 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 bum. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we're back to Dad's Army.
I used to annoy the drummers.
That was it.
Because I used to do loads of extra double beats. You know,
show off.
Yeah.
The ginger baker of the Boys Brigade. Hey?
There you go. I used to put extra double, but I used to enjoy that.
But they never. But if you listen, it goes bum 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 bum. Boom, 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 and then it stops then, and that's feeling of power as the bass drummer, like, you know.
Well, there used to be competitions. We'd go in competitions, and there were big parades in Worcester where we used to play.
We won the best band competition. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, Royal Marine Cadets won, Boys Brigade nil.
That's right. No, it was good times, yeah. So the Bruce Forsyth, it'll come out again. No doubt, one day. Good fun. So your compare style. I mean, you used to do a fantastic job, didn't you? When you used to, you had your various stints.
I had my various
got you
stints.
to come back various times.
I tend to have various breaks for them, and then I do comebacks or relaunches depending on how I feel until somebody upsets me again. Yeah.
Well, there was that time, of course, when you upset the audience member who stormed the stage, and our friend here, Paul Guest, had to assist.
He did.
Bodyguard.
He did, but he was so drunk he took the swing, and I could actually feel the air in front of my nose go, and because he tried to get out of the door, and he was ferreting around on the side without the handle.
Yeah.
So I said, the handle's over there, mate, and then he took a swing, and Jennings was at the bar. And I've told this story many times on this station. Within about 6 seconds, that guy was out in the street, where he went and keyed my car. But
dear.
I know.
No, we had some laughs on those days. We had that pump, didn't we? The one squeaky pump.
We had the squeaky pump. We have you smashing cans when people are trying to do their routine.
As a big recycler, stamping on cans.
I remember one famous occasion that the light actually went, and so while an act was on stage,
Power cut, proper power cut.
well, one light went.
The bulb went. So you went to change the bulb while an act was performing.
Yes.
And we all had the phones out trying to get the 250 quid in case you fell off the chair.
That's mates for you, eh?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, but I remember in the summer, I was comparing, you're climbing a perishing ladder.
That was to take a photograph, yeah.
Oh, of course.
From the flat roof.
That makes it okay then.
Because of the regulations on the lockdown stuff, we did it the first opportunity in August.
Yeah, it was good.
That was a fantastic.
Well, it does sharpen you up as a compere when you're doing it inside, because people are going in and out to the toilet and whatever and sneaking out for a fag.
Yeah.
Occasionally somebody plays with the fruit machine.
Absolutely.
Got you smashing cans behind and playing with the till, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Of course, the famous one, which we often mention, is just as the headliners get into their big punchline, you'd come out with a plate of microwaved McCain chips and just go,
And
chips, and then put them in the middle of the table and just walk off.
Yeah.
That was all part of the act, but they were they were cooked in the oven and often with onions mixed in as
Yeah,
well.
and
Very
occasionally,
lovely. They were
occasionally,
lovely,
we
yeah.
A Polish sausage.
okay. Yeah, I was just about to say we occasionally got sausages.
We used to buy them in a jar. We used to get 6 for about £1. White Polish sausage. 6 for £1 in a jar.
They were fantastic.
I'm a sucker for anything like that. Everybody moans about the bratwursts at the German. I love it. I love all that sort of stuff.
Well, I love them, but I just don't love paying £6 for them.
So where did you do your first gig?
Sorry, I thought you meant Wolfie's gig. Not the German market. Yeah.
Johnny, where did you do your? I'm interested to know because you must have done the bush 50 times at least.
Oh, I'd
Where
say
did you? Probably more.
possibly
100.
more than that.
Yeah. Where did you do your first gig? Do you remember?
My first gig was actually down in London.
Oh,
It was a competition, a laughing horse competition.
it was still going. Yeah, it was going then as well. Yeah.
Oh yes, and a heat, and I actually met Love Dev,
Ah.
a well-known.
Oh, so it was fairly recently then.
No, it's 2004.
That was Alex
Wall.
Wall, wasn't it? The Laughing Horse.
No, I'm saying it's only a couple
Wall.
of years before I started doing it.
Yeah, and then I did Karen Sutton Coldfield, the station,
Oh yes.
and I met Dave Powner. Then I did his gig, the Varsity Tavern in Wolverhampton. Through a Scotty, I did the Sunflower Lounge and met Dave Dinsdale, and he told me about your place opening.
In fact, we need to go down to your place now, don't we? And we'll carry on our little
Fantastic.
conversation.
This is the bush in Cradley Heath.
Yes, you've been listening to Nostalgia and Comedy on Black Country Extra. Join us next time.
Black Country